This tutorial has been designed to help you with Microsoft Word and using the page layout settings. The first thing that you need to know is on the ribbon at the top there, you've got that whole section for page layout. The two key ones that you'll need to be aware of are the orientation and the margins. Orientation allows you to switch between portrait and landscape just by clicking on there. And then margins, usually people use the normal margins or the narrow margins, but you can customize your margins as well by going down to the bottom and putting in your own measurements there. You've also got the option to add a page border. So there's page border. If I want it to go around the entire page, I can click box, and then at that point I can choose different border styles there, or I can choose different art if I want to make it a little bit more fancy. But usually people just stick with the plain ones, like that one, and you can change the width of the line there if you need to, and then just press OK when you're happy with that. So that puts a border around the entire page. The next thing you need to know is how to align text. Some people press the space bar lots and lots of times to get words into the centre, but actually Microsoft Word has settings to allow you to centralise text. So if you wanted a title to be in the centre, you can highlight those words and then go back to the Home tab on the ribbon, and then over here you've got different options. So you've got the centre, right, left and fully justified, which spreads the text across between the two margins. So if you wanted to be a proper title, then you'd want it to be centred. You'd also probably want it to be bold and slightly larger and maybe even underlined. There are also different styles that you can use for headings. So if you didn't want the simple bold and underline, there are different styles over here. So there's settings there just for heading, heading 2, lots of different ones like a title there if that was what you wanted to use. And then if you just wanted to centre it, you just centre it like that. So we've got different styles over here that we can use as well. There are different ways to lay out lots and lots of text. So if I had some text here in a paragraph and I wanted to indent that paragraph, then I could go to the paragraph settings. So if you look here, you've got this tiny little icon that you can click on, and that gives you some different options. So I want to put a space on that first line, so a tab space there. So I can go to first line, and then if you look, it gives me a little preview down the bottom, and if I wanted it to be a larger gap or a smaller gap, I can just change it there, and I can press OK. And then that will just allow me to have that first line of the paragraph indented. Now I want to apply a border to this paragraph, so I'm going to highlight the whole paragraph. Then I'm going to go to the borders section up here, and if I just want an outside border, I can choose that there. What Microsoft Word does is it remembers the border settings that I used last time, so if you can see, it's matched it with the page border. So if I didn't like that and I wanted to put it so it's a different border, I can go again to the same section, but this time go to the bottom where it says borders and shading, and I can change the border style. So if I wanted it just to be a simple small line, I can do that, and then I can press OK and it changes. You can also fill this with colour, so it's selected. I've got a fill bucket there and I can choose colours. So if I wanted that to stand out on my page, I can just put that there. Other page layouts settings could be different lists. So if you've got a list of data and you want it to stand out, you can use the bullet points. So up here you have bullets, and that just makes it look like a neater list. Or you can use a numbered list by just changing it there. There's other settings as well if you use the drop down arrows. If you wanted ticks, for example, you can choose that there. You can do things with your text as well. So, change my text. So if I wanted to add a superscript effect to this text, I can highlight it, and then up here I've got some settings. So you've got superscript and you've got subscript. So subscript makes it below the line, and superscript makes it above the line. So that would be quite useful if you wanted to put a copyright symbol in, for example. So if I put in the copyright symbol by inserting a symbol, so insert symbol, and then I find the copyright symbol, that's put the copyright there. So if I type copyright next to it, just so that you can see what's going to happen, I highlight that symbol, and if I change this to superscript now, it appears up there, which is helpful when we are trying to label our text correctly.